I saw Sophia Zhou laughing and chatting with a guy as I passed the coffee shop downstairs from my office after work. The man adjusted her collar and hair. I stood in front of the glass window for hours, his hands never still, until he confessed his feelings to my wife. Sophia Zhou wasn't angry. Instead, she smiled and said, "Don't you know I have a husband?" The man didn't care at all. A fair maiden is sought after by many. Mr. G should understand. I smiled wryly. None of Sophia Zhou's friends ever took me seriously. After all, I was just a trophy husband with no say in the Zhou family. Seeing that Sophia Zhou didn't refute him, my heart sank. They trampled on my self-esteem again and again. I thought this marriage was coming to an end. The man was about to say something when I strode up to him, picked up the coffee from the table, and poured it directly over his head. He stared at me with wide eyes and roared angrily, "Worthless trash. Do you know who I am? How dare you throw coffee on me?" The coffee shop was near the company, and many familiar faces were regulars. The scene drew everyone's attention. Isn't that team leader G? How dare he throw a tantrum in front of Ms. Zhou? Does he have a death wish? Sophia Zhou watched my actions, not angry but amused. The man hid behind Sophia Zhou, his eyes full of disdain for me. Then he said aggrievedly, "Ms. Zhou, you have to stand up for me." His eyes welled up with tears, and his innocent appearance reminded me of someone. It was Sophia Zhou's unrequited love, someone I had tried for 5 years to replace in her heart but couldn't. Sophia Zhou stirred her coffee with a spoon, looked up, and said indifferently, "What's the fuss? What's there to be angry about? If you don't like him, I can make him disappear from your sight. I promised my professor that no one would ever shake your position, no matter what." Thinking of my professor, I clenched my fingers, reached for the family heirloom around my neck, and handed the jade pendant to Sophia Zhou. This was a gift from my professor, but ultimately it belongs to the Zhou family. I'm returning it. Sophia Zhou looked down and picked it up. They say jade nurtures people, and people nurture jade. You've been wearing it for years, and the color is still so dull. It seems you're not worthy of it. She casually tossed it to the man behind her. "Here, take it. Mr. G isn't good enough for tens of millions worth of emerald green imperial jade." It wasn't that I wasn't good enough for it, but that I wasn't good enough for her. In Sophia Zhou's eyes, I was just something from the countryside, someone who couldn't be brought to social events. After saying that, she waved her hand and picked up a napkin, wiping her hands as if she had touched something dirty. Looking at her disgusted expression, my heart felt like it was being squeezed by a giant hand, aching terribly. "Mr. G, I never thought of replacing you. I just want to stay by Ms. Zhou's side and serve her well." The man spoke again, probably because he heard what Sophia Zhou said earlier. Although he was dissatisfied with my position, he was smart enough to settle for second best. "Did you hear that?" Sophia Zhou raised her eyebrows and looked at him. "You can go out now. I'll be right there." The man obediently nodded. Sophia Zhou followed closely behind, warning me before she left, "Ryan G, if something is lost, it's lost. Don't lose yourself too. I'll allow you to be willful this once, just for a change of pace, but you need to know your place." Under everyone's gaze, Sophia Zhou left with her boy toy, leaving me awkwardly standing there. Soon, a large group of bodyguards swarmed in. The leader had a contract and a box of money, probably to delete all the surveillance footage of Sophia Zhou from earlier and a hush fee. This was the Zhou family's usual way of doing things. After handling everything, the head bodyguard came over and reminded me, "Mr. G, after all this years, you know Ms. Zhou's temper. Why make her angry? In the end, aren't you the one who suffers? When you live under someone's roof, you have to lower your head. Just endure it." I turned my head and looked at him, my eyes full of desolation. How many green hats has his woman given him? How can he endure it? I smiled wryly. "Go back. I'll handle my family matters myself." The bodyguard sighed. "You can't have both pride and money. Mr. G, you're a smart man. You should understand." After saying that, he left with his men. I pretended to be fine, ordered a coffee, and sat in the seat Sophia Zhou had just occupied. I sat there all day. I didn't return to the mansion until the early hours of the next morning. Facing the empty room, I felt utterly disheartened. Sophia Zhou didn't come back last night. She was probably still reveling in someone else's arms. I went to the walk-in closet on the second floor and packed a few casual outfits that I often wore. Usually, divorce requires considering many issues, such as the division of property and child custody. But between Sophia Zhou and me, there was only that jade pendant. Who would have thought that at the wedding of the century that caused a sensation in Sidon, the bride and groom didn't even have a marriage certificate? I still remember what Sophia Zhou said to me on our wedding day. She said, "Ryan G, I'm only marrying you to fulfill my professor's last wish. My heart will always belong to Ethan Fong. Don't even think about things that don't belong to you." Even so, I still chose to walk down the aisle because being with Sophia Zhou was my lifelong dream. I loved her, and I was willing to do anything as long as I could stay by her side. I also believed that sincerity could win her over one day, but reality slapped me hard in the face. Love is something you can't force. No matter what I did, Sophia Zhou would never think highly of me. After leaving the Zhou family, I decided to go out and travel. I had spent almost my entire life revolving around Sophia Zhou, with no time or life of my own. In this vast world, I had shrunk into a corner, willing to be her frog in a well. Now, I thought it was time to slow down and step out. I traveled west along Sidon, backpacking, staying in hostels, and finally settling down in a remote rural village of Willow Creek. Away from the hustle and bustle of the city, inhabited mostly by ethnic minorities, with simple and honest customs, and without the backstabbing of the business world, I felt particularly at ease. I rented a courtyard, which was very cheap, only $800 a month. After cleaning for 2 days, there was a sudden knock on the courtyard gate. I got up to open it and saw a girl in casual clothes standing in front of me, holding 2 strings of sticky rice dumplings, with a bright smile on her face. She looked young and energetic, probably in her early 20s. "Judging by your clothes, you don't look like a local. Are you here on vacation too?" I nodded. "I'm here to teach. Here, this is for you. I made it myself. We're neighbors now, so please take care of me." I said thank you. She asked me how long I planned to stay, but I hadn't really thought about it myself. Later, we often went to the ancient town together. Olivia Lin told me that she had been teaching here for 2 years and would be transferred away this year. "By the way, our school is having a party tonight. Do you want to come? The kids here are very cute. They would be happy to see you." I actually liked kids a lot, but Sophia Zhou didn't. More accurately, she just didn't want to have a child with me. Since we got married, the Zhou family had mentioned children more than once. Every time they did, she would give them a nasty look. One time, it was so bad that she didn't come home for a whole year. After that, no one in the Zhou family dared to mention it in front of her again. At Olivia Lin's repeated invitations, I agreed. I arrived at the address she gave me that evening. The school looked old and run down, probably dating back many years. I went to the 3rd floor and pushed open the classroom door. A confetti cannon went off with a bang over my head. A thunderous applause erupted, followed by Olivia Lin's voice, "Let's all welcome our new friend. Welcome Teacher Lin's friend." The children all rushed forward to give me gifts. Olivia Lin stood in the corner, smiling at me. It was the first time I had faced such enthusiastic kids, and I was at a loss for what to do. Finally, Olivia Lin spoke up to rescue me. She clapped her hands. "Okay, we've had the welcoming ceremony. Now everyone, go back to your seats and start performing." The children were obedient and sat together. I hadn't seen such innocent smiles in years. When I was with Sophia Zhou, every time I came home, it was cold and unwelcoming. Except for work-related matters, she hardly said anything extra to me. Many times, I wanted to break the ice and suggest dates like normal couples, but she refused every time. Olivia Lin pulled me to sit next to her. We talked a lot that night, but mostly she talked and I listened. Because my life used to be a straight line from one point to another. In Olivia Lin's words, it was as boring as a dead person, predictable at a glance. But she was different. She smiled and said that she wanted to become a famous educator, with students all over the world. When she said that with a smile, I seemed to see my professor. He was also proud of his profession and happy for the students he had taught. Is your family very proud of you? I looked at her and asked. She was silent for a while, then shook her head with her hands propping up her chin. Actually, when I decided to teach here, my parents didn't agree. They said it wasn't safe for a girl to run around everywhere. I secretly filled out the application. I was stunned and admired her courage. People always have to try many impossible things. I can't always be stuck and the path they chose for me. I had never thought that the one to wake me up would be a young girl who had just entered society. She was always so full of life, as if nothing could defeat her. What about you? Her eyes fluttered, eagerly awaiting my answer. I don't want to be stuck in a monotonous life either, so I came here. When I was with Sophia Zhou, I didn't live for myself. I had to consider her and the Zhou family's reputation in everything I did. What about the future? Have you thought about what you'll do after your trip? Olivia Lin asked, and I lowered my head, not knowing how to answer. She was different from me. She had her own dreams and things she wanted to do, but my future was uncertain. In the past, my plan was to stay close to Sophia Zhou and try to make everyone think I was worthy of her. But now that I had left her, I had lost all that motivation. Ryan G. She suddenly called my name seriously. I looked up, and our eyes met. Since you haven't figured it out yet, just live for yourself first. Life is long, and you're still so young. You'll find something to strive for. It was the first time someone had told me to live for myself. Yes, I was still young, not even 30 years old. I shouldn't be striving for anyone else, but for myself. Olivia Lin's words made me even more convinced that I was right to leave the Zhou family. I smiled. Olivia Lin, you will definitely be an outstanding educator and a great teacher. After all the performances, I volunteered to help Olivia Lin clean the classroom. By the time we finished, it was already late at night. Time flies. It's already 3 o'clock. I smiled and didn't say anything. She suddenly jumped in front of me. It's so late. Why don't we just not go back? Olivia Lin had a lot of crazy ideas. I looked at her with a puzzled expression, wondering what new tricks she had come up with. You haven't seen the sunrise in Willow Creek yet, have you? Do you want me to take you to see it? The sun I see here is different from the one in the city. Before I could refuse, she grabbed my wrist and ran wildly through the fields. Ryan G., have you ever tried running and shouting at the same time? I shook my head. Every move I made used to represent the Zhou family. Even though my identity wasn't recognized by Sophia Zhou and her friends, we had still had a wedding. Some connections couldn't be easily severed. I couldn't possibly do something so outrageous. You haven't done that either? Let me tell you, it's so much fun. I'll say something, and you say it with me. I nodded. Olivia Lin's speed increased, and I gradually increased my stride. I'm Olivia Lin. I'm Ryan G. I'm going to be an outstanding educator. From today on, I'm going to live for myself. The empty fields echoed with our voices. Olivia Lin suddenly stopped, panting heavily, and pointed ahead. Ryan G., look, the sunrise. She shouted excitedly, like a child. I looked at her, my eyes full of smiles. At that moment, even though I hadn't slept all night, I felt incredibly relaxed. We didn't start walking back home together until the sun had fully risen. Have you always been like this? I asked curiously. She looked confused. Like what? Always so cheerful? Yeah, I'm very satisfied with my life now. I have enough to eat and wear. You don't know how harsh the environment was when I first came here to teach. That classroom over there didn't even have windows in the winter. They were covered with paper. Later, a kind-hearted entrepreneur funded this place and built a library. As she spoke, she took out her phone and showed me a picture of the entrepreneur. Look, isn't she beautiful and kind? Sophia Zhou's face appeared in front of me, and my smile froze. I suddenly remembered my professor's 2 wishes before he died. One was to see us get married, and the other was to hope that all children could have access to education. Over the years, Sophia Zhou had also been committed to developing Project Hope, gaining a great reputation. Now that I thought about it, Sophia Zhou was actually quite good to everyone, except for me. She was extremely disgusted with me. What's wrong? I smiled and said nothing. Olivia Lin clicked on an interview with her. I really don't know who's so lucky to marry her. I looked down at the phone. Sophia Zhou's outfit today was very different from her usual style. It was less formal and more charming. I used to help her coordinate her clothes, but now that I was gone, I guessed that the guy had taken over my job. She must have dressed according to his preferences. It was ironic that when we were together, I had to cater to her in every way, but when she was with someone else, she repeatedly changed her habits. All because that guy looked like Ethan Fong. As expected, a dead unrequited love is always a killer in people's hearts. Why haven't we seen Ms. Zhou and your husband attending events together in recent months? I heard that your husband ran away from home. The host's question gradually pulled my wandering thoughts back. The show was best at creating topics. With topics, there would be discussion, and with discussion, there would be ratings. It seemed that what happened at the coffee shop that day couldn't be kept secret. After all, it was a public place, and the Zhou family's hush money didn't mean that there were no leaks. Sophia Zhou smiled politely, but I noticed a hint of displeasure in her eyes. I arranged for him to go on a business trip. He has no one in this world but me. Where could he run away to? Everyone knew what she meant when she said that. The hands I had by my sides clenched the hem of my shirt. I had been an orphan since I was a child, and later I was adopted by my professor. After my professor passed away, I really had no relatives left. Sophia Zhou was certain that I couldn't leave her, so she was so unscrupulous. But this time, she was wrong. Let's go. I'm tired. I didn't watch the video on Olivia Lin's phone anymore and quickened my pace. Seeing this, she immediately turned off her phone and caught up with me. I feel like you're not very happy. No, I'm just too tired from being busy all night. Ryan G, don't you know that teachers study psychology? I smiled. Olivia Lin probably saw something, so she told a few jokes to make me happy and didn't mention anything else. After that, I spent a few more months of peaceful life in Willow Creek. Counting the days, I had been out for half a year, and I didn't have much money left. It was time to find a job. The night before I decided to leave, I made a big meal to say goodbye to Olivia Lin. Olivia Lin loved my cooking. She said it was a pity that I didn't become a chef. I had learned all of this because of Sophia Zhou. Sophia Zhou was not only picky about ingredients but even more so about taste. For her, I had specially gone abroad to study cooking for a year and obtained relevant certificates. I had once heard an old saying that if you want someone to not be able to leave you, you have to first grab their stomach. Unfortunately, I tried for many years and didn't succeed. Just as I was about to go out in the direction of her house, a car suddenly turned on its high beams in my direction. I stood still, and the lights flickered. At that moment, the car door opened, and I saw a pair of long legs. I was shocked. As I turned around, the person behind me suddenly shouted, "Ryan G, why are you running?" Hearing this, my whole body froze. Just as I was about to run, a pair of hands suddenly patted my shoulder. The person behind me was panting. "Hey, I just changed my style today. Don't you recognize me?" I turned around in confusion and was stunned to see Olivia Lin in heavy makeup. It was completely different from before. Why are you dressed like this?" I had just thought it was Sophia Zhou, but now I thought about it, how could it be possible? Since Ethan Fong died in a car accident, Sophia Zhou's sleep had become very bad. Once, I went to the study to bring her milk and accidentally knocked over their photo album. Sophia Zhou had a big fight with me. That night, I was in a bad mood and went to a bar with friends for a drink. My friend called Sophia Zhou to pick me up. She said coldly, "Who does he think he is? Does he know how much money I make in a minute?" After saying that, she hung up the phone. Such a busy person wouldn't have time to come and find me in person. Don't mention it. It's all my mom. She insisted that I go on a blind date. She thought that finding me someone local to Sedon would trap me here. I won't marry myself off so easily. As she spoke, she spun around in place several times. How is it? Do I look good? I coughed lightly and reluctantly praised, you look good. She gave me a thumbs up. You can even say that? You don't know how scared I made my blind date. Olivia Lin smiled with her eyes narrowed, constantly complaining to me about her strange blind date. I told her I was leaving. Her words stopped abruptly, and her eyes instantly turned red. So soon. I don't have a job here. I have to support myself. Olivia Lin nodded, indicating that she understood. Where are you going? Sedon. Although Sedon held many bad memories, most of them were good. Besides, my professor and friends were all there. I didn't need to give up so many years of hard work here because of a failed relationship. After I finished speaking, her sparkling eyes lit up again. Then I'll come find you in half a year. Olivia Lin shook the phone in her hand. Stay in touch. Okay. The next day, I packed my things and left. Soon, I received a job offer from a company. The interview went smoothly. Although the company wasn't big, the position and salary were decent. Since leaving Willow Creek, Olivia Lin had been calling me nonstop, chirping in my ear every day about many interesting things. In the blink of an eye, half a year had passed. She said that she had originally planned to come to Sedon to see me, but due to a temporary job change, she was going to be transferred away. I comforted her, saying it was okay, and that she could come see me when she wasn't busy in the future. Unexpectedly, after work, I saw her downstairs in my community. I stood there stunned, unable to recover for a long time. Olivia Lin waved at me. Are you stunned by my beauty? Didn't you say your job was changing? Yeah. This change is into Sedon High, the best high school in all of Sedon. Aren't you surprised to hear that? I chuckled. It's not just a surprise, it's quite a shock. It's so late. You haven't eaten yet, have you? I'll take you to eat. Olivia Lin took my hand very naturally, and I froze for a moment. She quickly noticed the change in me. What's wrong? Have you become so distant after only half a year? I was just thinking about having Chef G cook for me. Looks like I won't have that pleasure. Stop teasing. I'll take you grocery shopping first. She shouted, okay. To save time, we went to the nearest farmer's market to the community. It's my first time visiting a place like this. I didn't expect it to be so lively. First time? Olivia Lin nodded. Yeah, what's so strange about that? I looked at her back, picked up the vegetables on the stall, and curiously asked me what this was and what that was. I was in a daze for a long time. I had taken Sophia Jo to a place like this before, but considering the environment, I had chosen a large supermarket. I asked her what she wanted to eat, and she frowned the whole time, covering her mouth and nose the entire time. Ryan G, can the food here be eaten? In the future, the food you cook for me must be food that has been air freighted over. Don't even think about entering the kitchen if you buy this kind of substandard food. After she said that, I never went to the farmer's market again. I waited for the maid to deliver the vegetables and then cooked them for her. After choosing the vegetables, I made a table full of delicious food for Olivia Lin to welcome her back. She ate with relish. After eating, she toured my house. There's a guest bedroom. Then I'll stay here tonight. It's convenient. I couldn't do anything about her, so I could only agree. After that, I went to the kitchen to wash the dishes, and she went to the bathroom to take a shower. By the time I finished, Olivia Lin had just come out of the bathroom. She was wearing my white shirt. My body was much wider than hers, and the shirt looked very loose on her, barely covering her buttocks, revealing a pair of snow-white long legs. Olivia Lin! I went to the bathroom, took a bathrobe, wrapped her in it, and took her to the guest bedroom and put her on the bed. Just as I was about to get up, she grabbed my tie and pulled me onto the bed. I staggered, and I landed on top of her. Through a thin layer of fabric, my blood rushed to my head. Your face is so hot, she said hoarsely, boldly hooking my neck. Ryan G, do I look good? I didn't say anything. If you don't say anything, I'll take it that you think I look good. She kissed me quickly on the cheek. Then let me ask you one last question. Me and Sophia Zhou, who is prettier? I didn't expect to hear Sophia Zhou's name again from Olivia Lin's mouth. I reached out and patted her head, saying in a calm tone, go to sleep. But she didn't listen. My dad told me everything. Ryan G, Sophia Zhou doesn't cherish you. She has no taste. I like you, and I don't believe you can't see that. I was amused by her anxious declaration of sovereignty. What are you laughing at? I'm being serious. I know you and Sophia Zhou are having problems. If you need a lawyer, I can provide you with the best. No need. I refused without even thinking. Her expression instantly became gloomy. You still don't want to divorce her. You still can't let her go, can you? Seeing that I didn't say anything, she got off the bed, stood ba. Her food on the floor, and said in disappointment, I see. Sorry for bothering you. Seeing that she was about to leave, I grabbed her wrist. I don't need a divorce. Sophia Zhou and I didn't get a marriage certificate. She was clearly stunned by the news. That wedding of the century. That was for my professor. I put her back on the bed and told her the whole story. After listening, Olivia Lin hugged me tightly. She said, Ryan G, you're not alone. You still have me. Let me give you a home, okay? After that night, my relationship with Olivia Lin became a little different. We spent a sweet time together until a project that the company was working on involved cooperation with the Zhou Corporation. More than a year after leaving, it was the first time I had seen Sophia Zhou. When she saw me, there was a moment of surprise in her eyes. Then she closed the proposal, tapped her finger lightly on the table, with a high and mighty posture. It's been over a year. Have you caused enough trouble? It turned out that Sophia Zhou had always thought that I was just throwing a tantrum at her for more than a year. Leaving me and working in such a small company? Aren't you afraid of losing the Zhou family's face if word gets out? My face was a little ugly. If it had been before, I would have definitely argued a few words, definitely wouldn't have advertised my identity everywhere, and definitely wouldn't have lost the Zhou family's face, so that she wouldn't have to worry. But now, it didn't matter. Sophia Zhou could think whatever she wanted. The company is small, but didn't Ms. Zhou agree to discuss cooperation? That proves our company's strength. Sophia Zhou scoffed disdainfully. Do you think I value your company's strength? I wouldn't even look at such a small place, even if you gave it to me. Listening to her words, I seemed to understand why she had come today. It seemed that Sophia Zhou already knew that I had returned to Sidon as soon as I arrived. The reason why she didn't come to me was because she was confident. Ryan G, I'm giving you an opportunity to step down. Don't make a fool of yourself here. I stood up and opened the office door. Since Ms. Zhou isn't here to discuss cooperation, then please leave. Goodbye. Sophia Zhou's face suddenly became a little uneasy as she watched my actions. It was no wonder she was so angry. After all, I used to be obedient to her and never refuted her, always letting her scold and beat me. Now, I publicly rejected her face and didn't even want to step down, clearly wanting to draw a line with her. It's been a year, and you've grown a lot bolder. What? Are you going to break up with me? I already returned the things to you at the coffee shop. Sophia Zhou, there was no relationship between us in the first place. What is there to break? I asked rhetorically. Sophia Zhou stood up in anger and slammed the table in front of her. Ryan G, do you know what you're saying? The Zhou family has put so much effort into you. You're saying you're breaking up with me now? What right do you have? Even the fact that you can sit in this position today, everything you've learned in the workplace, isn't it all thanks to Sophia Zhou giving you the confidence? Now you're biting the hand that feeds you, kicking me away after you've used me. Ryan G, things aren't that cheap in this world. She gave me the confidence? How ridiculous. In my first year with Sophia Zhou, I was dragged to a business dinner. Everyone there knew I was the Zhou family trophy husband, and no one gave me the time of day. After going around the table, I downed a whole bottle of baijiu. I went to the restroom and threw up. When I came back, Sophia Zhou was already gone. The contract was clearly signed, but no one told me. They forced another round on me, and I ended up in the hospital with a bleeding ulcer. Sophia Zhou didn't visit me once during that week. Is that what she calls giving me a foundation? The second year, it was Sophia's family dinner. I still remember Christmas Eve. It was snowing heavily. Sophia's parents looked down on my status. They didn't think I deserved to sit at the same table with them. They sneered at me, calling me a hick from the rural village who would dirty their floors, and kicked me out. That night, I stood outside all night. Every mansion was brightly lit, fireworks lit up the sky, and I was the only one who couldn't even get a meal. Sophia Zhou let her family humiliate me without saying a word. Even then, I never thought about leaving her because I loved her. Not because of this so-called foundation she keeps talking about. In the third year, Sophia Zhou finally agreed to introduce me to her friends. At first, I hesitated even though I gained some fame at her company. I was still insecure. Sophia Zhou said, "Are you going to be a man or a mouse? Just go, or don't go. It's your choice." Then she warned, "But I'm telling you, this is the first and last time." I chose to go. The party was in the evening, and I spent all day picking out clothes and doing my hair, just to not embarrass her. I didn't expect that after all that preparation, Sophia's first words when she saw me were, "Trying too hard for someone so cheap." I was dejected and didn't say anything. When we got to the private room, Sophia Zhou didn't even bother to introduce me. She just sat down. The table was huge, but there wasn't a chair for me. One of her friends explained, "Sorry, we always have this many people at our gatherings, and the chairs are fixed. We didn't know you were coming and forgot to ask the waiter to add one." I felt so awkward standing there. She was the one who wanted to introduce me to her friends. How could she not know I was coming? Clearly, Sophia Zhou didn't care about me. "I'll go ask the waiter to bring in a chair," someone offered. Sophia Zhou didn't care, saying, "Why bother? He can just stand and eat." She never read about my self-respect. The fourth year, the fifth year, incident after incident, when did Sophia Zhou ever solve anything for me? How could her humiliation ever be a foundation for me? Sophia Zhou, don't you think that's ridiculous? I don't want to lose face with you here. Come back with me, and I'll settle the score with you later. She tried to have the bodyguards drag me away, but I fought back with all my might and pushed them away. I held out my hand, showing the ring. "Sophia Zhou, I'm afraid things won't go your way. I'm already married. I can't leave." Olivia Lin gave me the ring the night she confessed her feelings. "I, Ryan G, am not desperate for you." "Ryan G, you're making up a marriage just to get back at me? Haven't you had enough?" "Who says he's lying?" Olivia Lin burst in, protecting me. "Excuse me, ma'am, who are you and why are you yelling at my husband? What did you call me? I'm 24. Is there a problem with me calling you ma'am?" Sophia Zhou was speechless. It was the first time I'd seen her at a loss for words. "I'm talking to my husband. It's not your place to interrupt." "Funny you say that." Olivia Lin pulled out a marriage certificate from her bag. "Ryan G and I are legally married." "What are you to him?" It my first time seeing someone so eager to be the other woman. Olivia Lin didn't hold back at all. It was the first time I realized that when this girl gets angry, she doesn't mince words. "Do you know who I am? How dare you talk to me like that?" When Sophia Zhou couldn't win the argument, she started throwing her weight around, but Olivia Lin wasn't fazed. "Of course, I know. Weren't you begging my dad to cooperate on a commercial development project the other day?" I looked at Olivia Lin in disbelief. The only people in Sedon that Sophia Zhou would beg to cooperate with were jewelry tycoon Carl Manning and real estate mogul Larry Jenkins. Larry Jenkins, Olivia Lin. It finally dawned on me. Sophia Zhou was shocked when she heard her identity. "What? Cat got your tongue? Since you have nothing to say, I'll take my husband and leave. Olivia Lin grabbed my hand and started to walk out, but Sophia Zhou suddenly called out, Ryan G., we've been together for 5 years. Is that worth less than 1 year with her? I don't blame you for marrying her, but divorce her now. We still have a chance. Do you want Mentor to die with regrets? Olivia Lin gripped my hand tighter. What right do you have to mention his mentor? I knew she was angry for me, but I wanted to handle this myself. I asked her to wait for me outside. Sophia Zhou thought I was choosing to stay and smiled. I knew it. You love me. Ryan, our 5 years together is more than some fling. Coming back to me is the right choice. A fling? I was treated worse than a dog during those 5 years. I know you found a woman to make me jealous because of that man. As long as you get a divorce, I can be exclusive to you from now on. Sophia Zhou still acted like she was above everyone else. Shouldn't loyalty be the most basic thing in a relationship? Why did it sound like a transaction coming from Sophia Zhou? You're wrong. Leaving you is the best decision I've ever made. Also, Olivia and I have only known each other for 6 months. She's different from you. She's honest, cute, fearless in love and hate, always considers my feelings, and never tramples on my dignity. She respects me. I feel like a person when I'm with her. You don't deserve to be compared to her. Shut up, Sophia Zhou interrupted, grabbing my shoulders. Ryan G., what spell did she cast on you? You used to respect me so much, love me, and never say such awful things about me. Now you're saying I'm not as good as other women? I took a step back, creating distance between us, and brushed the dust off my shoulders like she used to do. I admit, I was with you in the beginning because I loved you, but I don't love you anymore. I love Olivia Lin. I wouldn't care if you had 17 or 18 boy toys on the side. I was your slave in the Zhou family for 5 years. Now I'm finally being myself. I think Mentor would be happy for me if he knew. I turned to leave. As I walked out of the office, Sophia Zhou tried to have her bodyguards forcibly take me away, but Olivia Lin people stopped them. After leaving the office building, I took the marriage certificate out of Olivia Lin's bag and asked, "Where did you get this?" "My uncle told me you were meeting your old flame, so I came up with this plan to scare her," Olivia Lin said, smiling. "Don't be mad." She was really shocked when I pulled out the fake ID. It was so useful. Wait, the CEO of my company is your uncle? Olivia Lin, how many things are you hiding from me? I pretended to be angry. Olivia Lin tiptoed and kissed me, hugging me and acting spoiled. Do you really want to know? I nodded. Okay, make this fake certificate real, and I'll tell you everything. Trying to trick me? Yeah, I'm making my intentions clear. Mr. G, will you give me a chance? I smiled, let go of her, and didn't say anything. Olivia Lin stomped her feet, chasing after me. Ryan G, are you going to give me a chance or not? You haven't answered me yet. As we left the county clerk's office/city hall, I held Olivia Lin's hand tightly and whispered in her ear, "I'll spend a lifetime answering that." The clouds cleared. I thought, in this moment, I was incredibly happy.